What's up, fighters? You've seen my videos before. I posted 2 videos based on my knowledge and my personal experiences in boxing, MMA, and Muay Thai. I try to show you how to throw a right cross properly and how to, throw a hook. So today, let's take a look at this video that my friend posted. It's during a sparring session that he had with his friend, I think. I don't think he's a boxing coach. I hope not. Basically, he has been training boxing, kickboxing for many years. But when it comes to sparring, he's making a lot of rookie mistakes as if, it's his first day doing boxing. So that's why I wanted to watch this video with you. I will highlight a couple things here, which is very important. These are the areas you really want to focus on, because if you make these mistakes, it's going to be very dangerous for you in the ring. So I'll go ahead and just play the video. All right, it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. I want to just go ahead because it's really short, right? It's only 30 seconds. I want to go ahead and play the second time. Focus on their feet. Just look at their feet and watch this video again. So, I've made 2 videos before. I tried to show you guys how to throw proper cross and hook, and both videos, right? No matter it's a cross or it's a hook, right? The main idea is your hip. It's all in your hip, right? You want to throw a proper cross, and we're not talking about powerful cross, right? We're just talking about proper cross, right? You don't need a very powerful cross to knock someone out. You need precision to do that. So you have to twist your hip, right? And then activate your core power, and then to your arms, and then to the knuckles of your hands, right? All the way like this. You have to twist your body, and that part all comes from your hip. So before you twist your hip, where you twist your foot, right? So you have to stand. You have to have a proper stance. You have to stand properly. Now, both guys here, none of them are throwing hands properly because of their right foot. They always threw the right cross even before they could stand properly. So their cross, whatever it is, right, has no strength at all, and they're always out of balance. The perfect example would be first 2-3 seconds here. Look at the guys trying to throw a jab and cross, right? Because my friend here is a little bit taller, it's hard for him to throw the hands, right? So here, when he threw the jab, everything's all right. He stepped forward, threw the jab, but before he could move his right foot on the ground, right, stand properly, he's already throwing the right cross. So there's no power, no strength in that right cross at all, because he's simply twisting his arm. When a cross is weak, it's without speed, it's without strength. And when it's without speed and strength, it's without precision as well. Now, the second problem here I want to point out, focus on his left arm, right? Because he's shorter, so he has to get close to the guy to throw his hands. But when he's close in, right, because now he's in the dangerous zone, he has to protect himself. But the way he protects himself is he trying to do this type of stance, right? Like kind of like Floyd Mayweather, but he's doing it kind of wrong, because he's trying to block the shot. But instead of just raising the shoulder, he's raising his whole arms like this. The problem is you open up your ribs, and that leaves a lot of room for the opponent to just knock you out by a uppercut. Even my friend here, he's not a professional fighter, but he also spotted that weak point right there. Look how she's pushing the guy away. by just raising his shoulder, he thinks that can protect himself, right? But he can't. Look at that shot right here. Look at that shot right here. Come in, uppercut on the rib. But when he's throwing the uppercut, right? Look at his footwork. When he's throwing the uppercut, he's completely out of balance. He moved forward. Now he's not twisting it. Both feet. He's not even standing on the ground. It's just there. He's just tiptoeing. It's kind of weird. That's why you can't throw punch like that. Personally, I like to do this type of stance as well because I'm usually shorter than my opponent, and to do this type of stance, I kind of have a better vision, right? I can see everything. Versus when I do stance, traditional stance like this, especially during sparring, we usually have 12 ounces gloves. It's huge, it kind of blocks my vision, so I don't like stand like this. I usually prefer to stand like this. But when you're doing like this, you really have to master your footwork. You really have to master the moves, right? You have to be very comfortable and familiar with this. If you haven't watched my 2 previous videos, go ahead and check them out. It's only like 2 minutes, I think. Know how to throw a proper cross, know how to throw a proper hook, right? So I'll post some follow-up videos to share with you some of the drills that I used to do to make sure, just to train your reflexes and to build a nice foundation. Because when it comes to boxing, I don't really believe in fancy punch. I don't really believe in fancy moves or head moves. It's all in your footwork and it's all in your hips. Also, another thing I want to add up here, during sparring, so I don't know how many times you get to spar in a week or in a month. If you don't have opportunity to spar with people a lot, make sure you always do shadow boxing. And when you do shadow boxing or just do heavy bags, make sure you're always relaxed. Always remind yourself to relax, right? Always remind yourself to relax. Because if you can't even be relaxed when you're doing shadow boxing, just throwing hands in the air, if you can't relax, how are you going to be relaxed when you're actually forcing an opponent? What you can do with heavy bags versus what can you do during a real sparring, during a real fight is two completely things. Because when you're doing these heavy bags, your mind is actually not always focused on distance, right? Your mind is not always focused on relax yourself. So always make sure and remind yourself, relax, relax, relax. No matter what you do, right? During your training, it's very important to keep your body relaxed, to keep your mind relaxed, because only when you're relaxed, you can see properly, you can throw your hands properly. A lot of mistakes here, not really, well, it's their foundation, but also because they're very nervous right here. They're already throwing the hands, throwing across before they could see, before they could have a proper stance. So I hope this video helped you, especially if you're new to boxing and you can train properly. So I guess I'll see you in the next one.